Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Elevate Your Soul podcast. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a really important topic about emotions and splitting emotions up into primary emotions and secondary emotions. And there are also third emotions, but I'm just going to stick to primary and secondary emotions so you guys can understand this as easy as possible. So if you think about how many emotions we can feel and how many emotions there is a long list of them. There's a numerous amount of ways that someone can feel throughout their lifetime. But something to become aware of is that there are actually only 6 emotions. There's only 6 core emotions that a human can feel, and every other emotion or feeling or adjective to describe what is happening in your physical body branches off from those 6 core emotions. Now, these are called primary emotions, and anything that is connected to that you may be feeling to cover up that primary emotion is called a secondary emotion. And a lot of us today are feeling secondary emotions. And a secondary emotion is kind of like a feeling about a feeling. So if you're feeling sad, how do you feel about being sad? You may feel lonely about being sad. So you're struggling with feelings of loneliness when your primary emotion and the core issue is that you're feeling sad. Or you may feel stupid when you're actually feeling sad. Or another example is feeling scared. You may actually just be feeling scared, but your secondary emotion, that the way you're expressing it, because you don't want to express that fear, you are stressed and you're thinking it's work that's stressing you out, or your relationships that's stressing you out, or your children, when in reality your primary emotion is really just fear. So it's important that we figure out what we are feeling and if it is a secondary emotion or a primary emotion. And the reason why this is so important is because you are not being authentic when you're expressing a feeling about another feeling. So if you're not expressing a primary emotion, you're covering up with a secondary emotion, you're not being authentic. And secondary emotions is kind of like a cover-up of a suppressed emotion, and it makes things more complex in your brain. It makes it harder to express what you're feeling. It makes it harder for you to actually understand how you're feeling and what is going on inside you, and harder to articulate your emotions. Secondary emotions and third emotions as well, they come up a lot more intense and are a lot stronger than the actual core primary emotion that you are dealing with. So I'm going to go through the 6 primary emotions here. Although I sometimes question anger and madness, and I feel that might actually be a secondary emotion a lot of the times from either fear or sadness. Like, as an example, a lot of us get mad at our ex when really we're just hurt. So I'm going to go over the 6 anyway, because I question if there's only 5. But there is sadness is a primary emotion. There is joy, which also is known as happiness. There is peace. There is powerful. So powerful is a primary emotion. There is scared or fear. And the last one is mad or anger. So those are your 6 primary emotions, and there's a lot of other emotions that are attached to these primary emotions that we feel day to day, which make us a lot more confused and harder for us to actually let these emotions wash over us, feel them, and then let them go. So it's important that we express our primary emotions so that we don't keep suppressing this emotion and it ends up making us sick. And obviously I'm talking about more of the negative emotions here. So sadness, I'll start with that. Sadness is a primary emotion. Emotions that stem from sadness that you may be dealing with or that you may feel that it's your main problem in life, whereas it may actually just be sadness, would be guilt. Guilt actually stems from sadness, feeling ashamed, feeling lonely, feeling depressed, feeling bored, feeling sleepy, or feeling dumb and stupid are all emotions that we feel that stem from a feeling of sadness. The next one being joy and happiness. From joy and happiness, we feel energetic, we feel playful, we feel creative, amused, and excited. The next primary emotion is peace. When we are at peace, we feel close to one another. We feel intimate. We feel loving. We feel nurturing, relaxed, grateful, and thankful. Power, when we are feeling powerful as a primary emotion. From this, we feel feelings of pride. We are proud to be who we are. We feel hopeful, confident, intelligent, appreciated, faithful, and sexy. Fear. When you are scared as a primary emotion, as secondary emotions from fear, you feel disgust, rejected, helpless, insecure, anxious and anxiety, weak, discouraged, and embarrassed and shameful. So these are all emotions that stem from fear or feeling scared. And the last one is anger. If we are feeling anger, we can feel hateful. We feel critical. We feel jealous of others. We become selfish. We're frustrated and irritable. These are all emotions that come from mad or anger. And in saying all of that, these primary emotions I'm actually copying from psychologists that they've made, and I'm just getting this research from the web. But my own personal approach on this is that there's only really 5 core emotions, and I don't believe that anger is one of them. I believe that anger is actually a secondary emotion of usually sadness or fear. And so all the other secondary emotions that I listed from the primary emotion, anger, the way I see it is anger is a secondary emotion, and all the other emotions I listed off of that one would be third emotions. So definitely not a primary emotion. So you want to get to the core, to the primary emotion. And so if you're feeling anger, you can go even deeper. I believe you can dive even deeper, and that there's another core emotion under that anger and under that frustration. It's so important that we become in tune and focus on how we're actually feeling and what emotions we are truly experiencing. And once you realize what emotion you're truly feeling deep within your body, it's good you know this, because then you can express it. And emotions are just like waves. Like imagine standing in the ocean and every single wave comes over you and washes over you. And once you're right in the thick of it, that's when it's most intense. But eventually the wave will come over you and wash away, and then the next wave will come. And this is exactly how our emotions work. So we cannot always control how we're going to feel about a situation. That's pretty hard. But what we are in control of is how long we are going to hold on to that emotion. And the number one way we hold on to an emotion, and this is not something we want to do with negative emotions or emotions that make us sick, is we suppress it. And we suppress it because expressing that emotion and feeling that emotion is painful. And nobody wants to feel pain. So we suppress it with another emotion, and we cover it up with partying or alcohol or that evening glass of wine or that beer after work or the coffee in the morning to get us out of bed or the drugs or the gym. And we work ourselves out till we can physically no longer stand or think or feel anything but our muscles and our sweat. Or we cover it up with food, especially junk food, because that gives us that moment of pleasure, because we feel these negative emotions deep underneath our skin bubbling up to the surface, and we don't want to feel it. So we keep suppressing it and we keep covering up. And trust me, this only makes it worse. It's like a balloon or something inside of you. And the longer it's there, the more it's going to grow, and it's just getting filled with air every friggin' day, and it's just going to pop and explode one day. And sometimes that can look like someone lashing out on their partner and murdering them, or someone getting cancer because they're not dealing with these sick, aggressive, toxic emotions within their body. They're suppressing them and holding on to them. And essentially, it just strips you and robs you from all of the positive experiences that you could be experiencing in your day-to-day life. You cannot feel the same amount of ecstasy and joy and gratitude and energy as someone who has dealt with their negative primary emotions versus someone who has suppressed their emotions or is still grieving for a loss. This person cannot physically or emotionally express and hold on to these positive, amazing, euphoric moments and feelings and experiences in life as another. So do yourself a favor and get in touch with your body and your soul and ask yourself, what primary emotion am I feeling now? Why am I so irritated all the time? Why does this person piss me off? Am I really angry? Or am I sad? Or am I scared? Ask yourself, what is really going on within me? And when you find that, feel it. Feel it. Let that emotional wave wash over you. And then let it go so that you can move forward and feel every fucking bit of beauty and bliss life has to offer you each and every day. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you all have an amazing week ahead of you, and see you on the next episode.